Hello everyone. Today I have for me it's exciting because I have a complete own experience with this topic, with exactly this topic. And I mean I do have with all of them, but with this one especially. So yeah, I'm excited to present you Eckhart talking about if you are having a job where you are unhappy and you want to understand and what you can do and what if you ask yourself all the time the question, what else could I do? What else would be a lot more fulfilling to myself? Yeah, more senseful. It's often coming up in your mind, maybe in your head, that you're thinking, I should do a new, a job that is more useful. Yeah, so really be excited. I love this talk from Eckhart because it's so true. I've experienced exactly the same thing. And I will talk about that a little bit later after the talk as well, to give you also some personality into it. And maybe you can connect with that too and find a new way. Yeah, I mean, Eckhart says it really perfect. Just enjoy, take a cup of tea again, a blanket, or just take a walk outside, even if it's dark at night, but it's now here nice temperatures, and take earplugs, take a light with you, and then take a walk and listen to this. It's really, really refreshing and eye-opening. Enjoy.
I've been working for 13 years in an office and I feel that my job is boring and useless. I learned to surrender, but I'd like to change my job but don't know where to apply. How can I find out what will give me joy and happiness and a feeling of meaningfulness? Well, start with where you are, rather than trying to get away from where you are. You start with always the present moment. And you say you have surrendered, but have you surrendered enough? Have you truly surrendered? So, I suggest when you travel to work every morning, enter the state of presence rather than drifting off into thinking, so that you're present every moment, whether you're driving or taking public transportation or walk to work. Be there, absolute presence. And when you're at work, do one thing at a time and bring in spacious moments as much as possible. They can only be a few seconds, even one spacious breath. After you made a phone call, 2 spacious breaths. And then when you go to have lunch, wherever it is, either you eat the lunch that you brought with you, or you go to the restaurant or the canteen, or again, present with every movement. So you use what otherwise would be a boring situation and just use it as the background for presence. So you're not looking for some satisfaction in the work, but you bring a different state of consciousness to it. So in a way, your work situation becomes like a canvas. It's just an excuse for practicing presence. And you're lucky that you have a relatively boring job. It gives you great opportunity for practice. If you had a very stressful job that kept you in a state of excitement all day long, it would be more difficult. So be thankful that life has given you something relatively boring. And then you make it interesting, not in the conventional sense of interesting, but you bring the alertness to it. So you're not working at the You're not working at the stock exchange shouting like a mad person, sell, sell, buy, be on the computers. Now, if there's any stockbroker wanting to ask me a question, please do. That'll be a different answer. I don't know what I'll say. There's a way there too. What it is, I don't know until you ask the question. But yes, use the situation, and so that as you do that, discontent disappears. And that is true surrender. You say you practice surrender, the questioner says, but if there's discontent, of course there's still not complete surrender. There's still, I'd rather be somewhere else. Or the mind telling you, it's been 13 years, and how many more years to retirement? Oh, and then you start counting the years to retirement. So you're losing yourself in past and future, and you're carrying the burden in your mind of past and future, missing the opportunity of the present moment because it's not interesting enough, says the mind. So that's good. Practice, and you may find, if you come into such an alignment with the present moment, you feel more alive even within the routine activities. There is then an added dimension of aliveness that comes in, and you perform even the routine activities with a greater sense of aliveness. And it is often then that change comes into your life, when you align with the present moment, instead of trying to get away from it, internally align yourself with it so that any kind of no to the present moment dissolves in an inner no. And so you're so aligned that actually power begins to flow through. That's why I call that the power of now. It's the power of life itself. Begins to flow through you. At first it flows into your routine activities, and the way in which you relate to your colleagues at work becomes more present, different, somewhat different. Some people may notice it, others may not. And so, and gradually the universe or life notices that you are in a different state of consciousness. And often it is then that change comes into your life, either through a chance event or a chance encounter or a sudden idea or realization that comes into your head one morning, in whatever form it comes, or some drastic thing like suddenly your company goes bust, the company that you worked for so long, suddenly they close down, everybody loses their job. Wow, you're free. But you were free already, because internally you already became free. So in what way change comes into your life, we don't know. It is much more likely to come in, but you no longer depend on external change for your inner state. That's the main thing, that you don't depend on it anymore. You're already, and even if nothing else came into your life, you would continue practice until your last breath. And your last breath would be a conscious breath. And you would have fulfilled your purpose on this planet, in this form, which is to be a vehicle for consciousness to come into this world. So you don't need to depend, you don't depend on anything. Change is more likely to come, yes, but the presence practice is not a means to an end. You're not practicing, you say, okay, I'll practice, but if nothing happens within 6 weeks, I'll stop practicing. A church-going lady who she lived in a house, and outside her window there was a hill that blocked the view of the ocean. So just a little hill, and of course if that hill hadn't been there, her house would have been worth much more. So because of that hill, her house wasn't worth that much. But in church she heard if you only have faith of grow big as a mustard seed, you can sail to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move for you. She heard that in church, Jesus said. And then she said, oh, okay, I only have a hill there, so let's see. And said, okay, I'm going to believe that this hill is going to move, and then tomorrow morning I'll open the curtains and see what happens. In the morning she got up and opened the curtains, and the hill was still there. And she said, oh, I knew it wasn't going to work. So to all of you who are bored at work, there may be quite a few, make it into a spiritual practice, a consciousness practice. Bored at work also means you're not particularly challenged at work. And in the absence of life challenges, there's always the danger that you fall below thought and you come into a routine where what you think it's acceptance, but you're really falling below thought, and you go to work, and there's a decrease in your sense of alertness and aliveness, and you become dull, and you go. And sometimes you see people who've been working in the same place for a long time. That's not surrender or presence. They've just gone below thought, not risen above.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that talk just as much as I did. And if you maybe didn't get all points, I mean, if you have not experienced the same feeling ever, the same experience that he is explaining there in very different ways and in facets, then it might be a lot more useful if you repeat this talk for a few times to really get each nugget out. And maybe through that coming closer to that kind of experience in your own situation. Yeah. And I can only say how I experienced that, and it's so funny. As I listened to his talk, I realized, oh my goodness, this is exactly how I reached this same approach. But it was years ago. I have not heard this talk yet. But I've started with coaching, with coaching seminars, and I made educations for coaching, and through that I applied the tools in a way to my situation which was exactly the same. I had already, after 3 years in my job, I was thinking, you know what I'm gonna say, but it was really that strong feeling, emotion. I was thinking, doing this until I'm retired, 65 something, just sitting in front of the PC and all the all the skills I had, leaving school, leaving university, having been to America, to England, living abroad, having had to implement into a new language, new culture in a way, having had so many exciting things, new things that I was experiencing, and now sitting just in front of a PC and doing this work, I was already feeling after 3 years, or even earlier, oh, this can't be. All my skills will be will never be all useful in this kind of job, and I will lose many skills, and also I learned in these 3 years I have to fulfill certain rules and have to behave in a certain way. I'm not allowed to be completely who I am, or this is at least what it felt like, what happened. I mean, if you are a strong character, and I have to say that too, you make it. You still stay the way you are, and you make your position. You make what is around you to what suits to you, that you don't have to change your personality, But I don't know if this is for 100% possible in a company, as an employee for a company with having a boss and a boss, and so I'm not so sure if this is really 100% possible. But and that's something that Eckhart is not talking about, how you can be at work, how free you can express your being, your inner feelings, your really true being, thinking, and that's what has to grow, of course, that you get this confidence, and also the company or the people in the company, they have to build up a relationship to you, and and then maybe step by step you can allow yourself more and more to expand to your true full self. But I think still there are certain rules of behavior that if you don't keep them, you will always have arguments. And I had that. I have changed now 3 times the job I'm 42, and so 3 times is not much, but I experienced that I was always coming to that tightness, feeling tightened up by having a stamp where to stamp where to say, okay, now I start the job, now I leave, and it really tightened me. I felt not free, and and I was actually always thinking of how and what could I do, what would make me feel a lot more fulfilled in doing that kind of job, but still getting a good salary, getting as much money as to live the life that I would like to live, and I did not find that. I was in my mind, and that's a pattern we have. In my mind it was stamped in that the job you like doing, you are not paid well, and the jobs that are not so joyful, they are paid well, which is only a belief as well, a belief that is not true. I had to learn. It is nice that I understood that quite late, but still, So this is one thing that you can learn. There are jobs that are even better paid and still give you joy and fulfillment, and become more of what you would like, of what your personality is enjoying, which of course you cannot by not trying out these things. you will never find it if you don't try it out. And that's what Eckhart is also not saying. I mean, you can do it the way that, like I did. I took then, with 34, I took a year off. I was saying, now I need to stop here. I get so frustrated by being so limited. I can't stand it anymore, and I have to look what is out there, what else is out there. So I took a year off, kind of step by step. It was not planned like this, but I planned like a month, and out of this month became 12 months finally. But there in this year, I really kind of flowed the way, let my life flow a little bit more, unplanned. Only the first month was planned. I was before thinking, okay, what could I do? And then I decided to make an education in massage, in something that has to do with people. I was doing something good to people, which I always liked. My mom, she was a cosmetician, and I always liked that factor of giving people something good, that when they leave being with me, they have a smile, they feel good, they feel better, and they have a better feeling. And this is something I always really loved doing. I mean, I was always visiting friends, being the funny girl, and also the explanation girl, that when they had issues with something, I was always able to explain to them. I was always looking at everything very practical, and very pragmatic, not emotional. So I could really good give people different perspectives of how to look at something. And so I find out that as I did that cosmetic and massage educational months, and also I did it in another country. I went to Spain, and I loved that language. I loved Spanish. I don't know why, but sometimes you do know that you love something. You really do. And also I loved to, as a child, I always wanted to go to America. It was so deeply in my soul that I wanted that, and I still don't know why I wanted that. I just had that strong wish, and I realized that for me as I was studying mechanical engineering. There I really, in the practical semesters we had to do, I was really working hard on it to realize that, because it was not usual to go abroad for a mechanical engineering trainee semester. Everybody was staying in Germany and doing it there. It was totally not. And after I did it, after I set all this up, many students after me went to these jobs that I found, the places to work that I made connection. And so I know I talk a lot about me, but it was really, really nice. So I just want to connect to that thing, that look for something where you have a very strong wish or a very strong wanting. And if you don't have that, if you only have that strong wanting of being away from and not enjoying what is, then do it the other way. Okay, say to yourself, okay, I look up the internet for job descriptions, and maybe not jobs like normal jobs. Look up for things, maybe not for a job, maybe for items, for things you do like. Look for that, and then maybe in that field there is an opportunity to make a training, to make a practicum, to make to do something like that. And then you go and check out with your job if you can reduce a little bit, and then do that parallel, and then check out take your little finger into something new, where you have some interest, some curiosity about. That's the first step you have to do. You really have to do that, and that's what I want to give to you. This is how I started my journey of changing and of realizing and of all this. And you know what happened as I started this coaching course and becoming so, I became extremely conscious. And then I had a seminar about it. Actually, it happened very rapidly in a seminar. I decided to go to a seminar for 3 days. And that was about polarity therapies, techniques. And there they did really funny things of mantra singing and having I don't know the word. We did kind of mediations where we had 3 people. One was talking about an issue, the other one was just listening, being like a connector, and the other one was replying in a certain way, and it was really, really interesting. And after this seminar, I was so opened up with all my senses and all my consciousness senses. It was really crazy, because then I went to work and everything changed. I was completely different. I was able to do my work in like 60% or 50% than I was before. I felt really the difference, what it makes to be 100% conscious and do it that way. I enjoyed even the things I did, because it started, and I want to explain that very carefully. It started that what I was doing, even if I was writing an email, which is a normal thing you do, but if you are so conscious and aware of this, you are starting to develop a joy and curiosity in becoming excellent, fast, brilliant. You get like a little motor that pushes you but in a positive way. Like I was starting to observe how I could do faster writing, and then also, how do I explain myself? How do I explain what I want to write in that email, the content? How can I make it really on point, professional, and it was not in a way of that someone said I had to do, or it was coming out of myself, this joy of using my whole human being with all its skills and all its possibilities, with these fingers, with this mind, with these eyes, with this, everything. That how can I use it the best way? I had joy of using the things that has been given to me as being a human. And this is what I wanted to really pass on to you. And even in the connection with my colleagues, I had a few colleagues, or one colleague, or I don't know, 1 or 2, I don't even remember anymore. I didn't like them that much, and others didn't like them too, because they had a very certain way of behaving. And I was so curious to say, no, I don't want to have that feeling anymore. That I don't like them, or I get annoyed by them. So I want to change that. I was curious of changing everything into positive, into light, into joy, and I was able to do it in a very fast way. My mind gave me, because I decided consciously, I want to be completely in joy, in harmony with everyone at work. So please, how can I do that? And then my mind came and said, oh, okay, you want that. Okay, let me give you ideas. And then it started creating ideas. And that's so cool, because then your mind gets the real function that it actually has. It does not tell you what you want. No, it does work for you, for what you want, what you decided somewhere else. I don't know where. I mean, many people say it's from the heart area it comes. As the heart is the center of the right path in life, let's say it that way. But then I really felt my mind worked for me. I gave him a task. Please look how you can make me have that harmony and joy with every colleague I have at work, and please deliver me solutions here. Become creative. And that's how it works. It's really, really nice. And yes, what Eckhart is saying, when you change this, then opportunities come. I mean, I had this sales department, and I felt after a few, like a week, it was even just days, I felt, you know what, I'm a really good salesperson. And I remembered that I was almost having this kind of job in my first, after school, after the university. But I neglected because, of some reasons, anyhow. But throughout my working life, I sometimes had that feeling that maybe I'm good in sales. I do like to talk to people and to have some discussions. Like I love to encourage and I love to use my brain to find solutions and to find good ways and to find negotiations, but in a nice way, in a humorous, nice way. Yeah, and well, anyhow, and then it came up that the sales leader of our department for sales, we kind of started connecting and talking, having had a really good relationship, and I really thought, oh, yeah, maybe I would do that step. I mean, in the end, I did not follow these ideas, because I parallel did many seminars and courses for my coaching career, and this is actually what I wanted to do. I started, so I thought, no, I don't want to change it, but change now. I want to have no stress of something new in addition to the coaching career or coaching education parallel. So I decided not to follow that, because it would still be the same. I would be employed and I would have to do all the contract work, which I don't like, all the paper stuff. I mean, to go on meetings with people, yes, but the rest, no. So, and that is so important. You have to try things out to see, okay, what part do you like on this job and what do you not like, and how much percent is this and that, and really the best thing then is really to become self-employed. Try the job out for a year, not more. Try it, not try, the word is wrong, do it. Do that job and find out what in that job you really could love, could like, and then use that profession and make yourself self-employed and just offer this service, because, and that is so true, what you love doing, you are good in. What you don't love, you will not give all your power into it, so you are not as good as someone who is giving all the power in because they have joy for it, or they, whatever their motivation is. But if you have no motivation behind, only earning money, that's not enough. And there are many people just looking for the money and doing a job that they don't like, but in the end they will burn out from this. So you really have to always be open and open up actively. Do that. Don't be open. Open up. Become active in looking for things that you could like. If you don't know it yet, I was the same. I loved dancing. I did dancing courses. I loved climbing, so I went climbing. But I never thought of doing something like this to a job. I never, because I thought this will not bring me the money, the standard I want to have. So, but even that thought, it's also not true. As I say, if you love something, you are good in it and you can make the price for it. If you become good because you love it, everything you love, you become good. Don't question that. As I was younger, I thought, me and languages, I'm not good at learning languages. But as soon as I have been to Spain and I felt this connection to that language, you know how fast I picked that language up? I can still talk this language because it's so connected to joy, to emotion. If you do something connected to emotion, it becomes you. It becomes a part of you. Even if it's a negative emotion, it also becomes you. But we are looking for the positive ones, and that you can only find out by actively looking up and going to courses, looking and even if it means you have a 100% job or less, maybe possible, and do a parallel education for you. Look for what you like. And what if you create an own new job that has never been there before, where you connect certain things you like and certain things you can do, you are good in. You find out, this is my personality, gives me this and that, and don't think that the negative thing you have, if you have something where you really think, this is negative, and even other people, they tell me often, this is not so good. Like for me, example, people always tell me, you never say, oh, well done, or yeah, I never do that. That positive saying about things. If someone did something and I don't extra tell them that they made a good job, And yes, you can say it has a negative side, but it is also a damn positive thing, because you are not that for example, in this case, it's now I only say it when I really feel this is really, really good. I don't just say it to give the other person how can I say, why did I never say it? Yeah, it was when I felt that the other person was kind of awaiting this. I did not say it. And then they used to say, oh, you never say, oh, well done, or great, or, and it's a positive thing, because when you say this, then you really mean it. It's not something you just say because the other ones want to hear. You don't talk what the others want to hear. You talk what you really feel, and it makes you confident and standing for yourself. And that will be a lot more appreciated by people than just saying what others want to hear. You know, even if it's in a way a negative, it gives a negative feeling to people, or to but it's also a very good gift to not say what other people expect from you. Yeah, it's just one example, but there are so many others. If you have if you criticize a lot, that's a very good example. If you're the one criticizing many times, and people always tell you, oh, you're only criticizing. Yes, the negative side is, okay, you are most of the time just looking on the bad things, but what does it mean as well? You are the one analyzing things very consciously, deeply, very detailed. So it's so useful in jobs where this capability is a needed capability. And there are jobs where this is perfectly needed. And the other part of it, you can, now, for example, I do say a lot more. I do, but this is, oh, well done, or thank you very much. I really appreciate that. But in a different way, I started appreciating life in a way a lot more. Everything I have, everything that is there, I started to really work on that I see what I have, and I'm joyful for what I have. Yeah. And that kind, that change brought me to more often automatically saying, oh, thank you, because I felt this appreciation of someone giving me a compliment, or someone doing something for me, or that. Yeah, I really started appreciating things, and then I said it as well. But what I wanted to say is that even if you're a big criticizer, it has a very good skill side on it. Yeah. And yes, if you can always find the negative things, you are capable of, as well, with the same detail and with the same depth, find the things that are positive. So you can become both a criticizer, seeing the bad things, but also seeing the good things. Yeah. And that is really a capability you have then. Yeah. Or other things. What else? There are so many skills out there. I think it's fine. And yeah, so really start becoming active. Start becoming more conscious. And how do you do that in your everyday life? If you just say, okay, I want to do only the part that Eckhart was explaining first, or for always, you can start doing that by changing some routines. Change in the morning to brush your teeth, not with the right hand, but take the brush with the left hand, for example. And then if you take your way to work, take another way to work than you usually do. This is all opening up your consciousness. And then what you can also do in the morning, when you wake up, go thoughtful through your day. Okay, what is in this day? What will be in the day? What is planned? Okay, and then ask yourself, how do I want to feel in all these meetings, activities, whatever is there? How do you want to feel? Ask yourself. And maybe there comes, I want to feel funny today, I want to make jokes, I want to have fun today. Then tell yourself, okay, today I make fun. And then during the day, connect to that decision that you made in the morning. This is a wonderful, wonderful exercise. And maybe the next day you think, today I want to be calm, completely relaxed, not talking a lot, want that people understand and hear and feel already everything without me saying too many words. This is many examples. I tried all that out and it works perfectly. It's so crazy, and that gives you that confidence about yourself. How much influence you have on your environment by deciding from within what you want. Yeah, so please do that. Or for example, also if you think, okay, today I want to feel maybe you want to say, okay, today I want to flirt a little bit, I want to be flirty, I want to be connecting easily in a very very light butterfly feeling, then do that. Try it out. And your mind helps you. It gives you impulses that you need to feel this feeling. You will be amazed how creative your mind is and how supportive it becomes when you consciously decide how you would like to feel in a certain moment, in a certain situation, or just the whole day. You can do that really specific in a certain meeting where you know, okay, there is this meeting. How do I want to feel in that meeting? How do I want to feel? And that is the thing. Don't start controlling it. Controlling question would be how to really say, this person should, how do I make him to do this or that? Don't specifically do that only, because the most important thing is how do you want to feel? Because if you feel, it's emotion, and through that emotion you can send any information you want in a way that the receiver and the receivers can receive this information and really understand it. And then wonders happen. because what you would like, for example, if you want your boss to make it possible you get a salary increasement, yeah, okay, what you have to do is not asking how you can achieve. You can also ask that question, but only silently and without pressure, yeah. Tell yourself, okay, it would be cool if he would be giving me this or that amount more, okay? But then forget it. Forget that want, that will, that you want this amount. What you have to concentrate on maximum is how do you want to feel doing that talk with your boss. How do you want to feel? And that's so much more important. Because if you feel like in the past, like, oh, I don't deserve it, I don't feel good, how do I do that, how do I talk to him, you feel, then you have an emotion where when you put that will onto that emotion, like imagine it's like a car and you put or like some kind of whatever, a car, and you sit down this will of salary XY into it, and you throw and the cart starts moving, but by thinking, oh, how should I, it moves very slow. It's like it's not even reaching, it's not reaching your boss. It won't, because you hold it back, you press all the time on the brakes. And if you think or concentrate, not think, if you concentrate on, I want to feel good, I deserve everything, if you concentrate on that, your vehicle where you put that will in, that wish of achieving this or that salary, goes faster and really reaches your boss. It's like, vroom. Okay, all right, here we are, and your boss will be activated. His emotions of joy will be as well activated, because what are we doing? We are mirroring all the time what another person sends out. So if you send out this slow car of brakes, he will also push on the brakes, press the brakes. So you activate him if you activate yourself, and then you will see what happens. It is really amazing, and wonders happen. Wonderful. Yeah, for example. Okay, I think this is enough for now, but I see I could give you a lot more impulses here for this field, as we all, many of you, and me included, are employees in a company and want to break free in being ourselves, and also being able to say a day, I don't feel good, I don't want to go to work, but I don't want to always lie and say I'm sick. Reach to that, talk to your boss, I'm not sick, but I would love to take a few days off sometimes. Can we make an agreement that when I say these or these words, then, because I don't like, you can really openly talk to your boss about this and arrange it. I know of people, they did that and they have that arrangement and they are okay with that, but they never or almost never are sick, because they are able to say, okay, now I don't feel like coming to work, I want to relax or do something else. Yeah? Yeah, okay, all right. Now I wish you a wonderful day and a wonderful night. And always think of who you are in real. You are the lottery win of your life and all other lives around you as well. And if you like, take that gift of a free coaching session with me. As I told you, I'm a coach since 3 years now. I've learned a lot, and I've had already quite some very wonderful coachings where, I mean, in my coachings it's usually that 1 or maximum 2 sessions are enough to make a big change. So, and I love doing that. I love that fucking thing to see you smile, to see you leaving thinking. It's always that people then, I see in their eyes, they are very much thinking now, because I start a thinking process which has not been started so far, and that is wonderful when you really become, you really can start changing right away in a session, during a session, after a session. When you go to sleep, then it goes on and it really rebuilds something inside of you. And you might not even realize it that fast or that intense. It could be intense, it could be less intense, but something happens. I can promise you that. So yeah, take that free coaching session for you. It's a wonderful gift, and you can just get it by looking up my name in Facebook or in Instagram. And if you find me, if you're lucky, I mean, some already did find me. But it's a kind of a challenge you can face now and look if you really want that. That's your challenge now, to find me. And then you have that wonderful experience with me. Okay, now I let you go. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.